Hey, dear listeners, we are finally here with our, not necessarily a first look of Cuphead. This is going to be a introduction to a new series that we're going to do here on YouTube called What Is? And this new series is it's going to be similar to our first looks, except this is going to be beyond the first look. This is going to be where we've spent time with the game, and now we're just going to go and show the game off and talk about what our experience has been so far with the game. So it's not quite a review, but we're just going to show you what is this game, and we're going to talk about what it is, some of the mechanics, some of the things that we like, some of the things that we don't like, and just kind of go from there. So instead of getting our first impressions of the game, you're going to get to hear what our time with the games have been like. And so we're going to introduce this series called What Is, starting with what is Cuphead. Now, Cuphead is a game that it comes from Studio MDHR, I believe, and it was originally released on Xbox and PC, I want to say a year ago, and it just came out not too long ago for the Nintendo Switch. And something you saw earlier was eventually you'll be able to unlock achievements that basically you get Xbox achievements on a Nintendo Switch, and you can still do the different feats of strength and all the other things and still get achievements within the game on the Switch. But it's cool to me. For us completionists, that's going to scratch that itch to complete things quite well. But what is Cuphead? If this is your first time seeing the game or hearing of the game, you're probably wondering, what is this game? Well, to start off with this, the story of Cuphead follows Cuphead and Mugman. I believe it's called Mugman. And they're brothers, and they wind up going to this casino, getting into all sorts of gambling, and come to find out, this is going to happen a lot in the game. Get used to it. What happens is, when they go and gamble so much, the owner of the casino comes out, and surprisingly, it's the devil, and he makes this deal with these two kids, basically, saying, hey, if you win, you get the casino. If you lose, I get your souls. So it's kind of that Devil Goes Down to Georgia type of thing, if you guys have heard that song. It's similar to that particular style, cautionary tale almost, in this game. And Cuphead just very brazenly rolls the dice. They lose, and they beg, don't take our souls. And so now they are contracted to go after and collect debts, or outstanding debts, which are, you basically go and kill these other monsters and just kind of go from there. Now, I'm not exactly sure how the rest of the story plays out. That's just how it starts off. And that was the point where I was getting frustrated because I was tired of dying in the game. But that's the gist of the game. And so you're playing as Cuphead or Mugman, or you can play as both. It's got local co-op, so if you want to play with a friend, you can. And I will say, as far as... Well, let me speak to the premise first, because this is a game that I originally didn't want to play when it first came out because of the premise. I didn't really like the idea of how you're playing as Cuphead and you're collecting debts for the devil. It's just a weird premise. But when it came out on the Switch, I thought, okay, I want to see how the story plays out. I want to see if there's some kind of redeeming qualities to it. Maybe it's a cautionary tale, because cautionary tales are meant to make us uncomfortable. They're meant to make us feel uncomfortable so that we don't do what happens to the characters in the show or medium that we're partaking in the entertainment of. So I'm curious to see where the story goes, and I'll talk more about this both here on YouTube and on the podcast, and we might even do an episode on the game. But that's the gist of the story. Now, at this point in the game, I'm several missions in. I've completed a lot of areas, and my thoughts on Cuphead so far. Well, let me explain how the gameplay looks. If you're watching this, it looks very similar to Mega Man, except the art. Well, I don't want to hate on Mega Man. The art in Mega Man is still pretty good. But the art in this is really good because it's reminiscent of retro classic cartoons, and the music is very fitting of that too. You know, as you're sitting here watching this and listening to the music, you can definitely see that as you pay more attention to it. And to me, that's what drew me in to Cuphead initially, was the art style and the music. It scratches all sorts of nostalgia things, you know. It hits that sweet spot of nostalgia, and so it's very attractive in that regard. Now, one of the things that the game is known for is its difficulty. The game, I'm not going to lie, is hard. The first handful of missions that you do or areas that you go to aren't quite as difficult. The game almost lures you into a false sense of security in that regard, because you think, oh, this game's not too bad. But then after a certain boss, which you'll see in this video, at least for me, I learned very quickly that this game does not mess around. This game does get hard. But that's the thing, is that if you're not into difficult games, I can't recommend this to you. And I know that's going to sound weird, but if you really don't like challenging games, Cuphead is not the game for you. Now, if you're the gamer who enjoys a good challenge, this is the game for you. Because it will challenge you, it will test you, and it will unfortunately grade you on how well you do or how terrible you do. But that's basically what Cuphead is in a nutshell. Think of classic retro Mega Man style gameplay with that good bit of challenge, some great music, some good looking art, and that's what it is. That's what it is. The game does remind me a lot of Mega Man, actually. It might be a little bit harder. And what you're seeing here is this is the Emporium where you can buy upgrades for your character. You can buy extra health, you can buy extra weapons that you can use in different scenarios. Now, this is the one I'm going to pick up here, is the pea sugar. It's an automatic parry. Now, when you parry, you jump and you press jump again, and if something is pink and you hit it, you can parry it or jump off of it and get an extra boost. It's a pretty cool mechanic that I actually really enjoy, and I bought the pea sugar thing because I'm really bad at timing, so that will just allow me to parry automatically. But that is Cuphead in a nutshell. Now, a lot of the bosses you're going to face are very unique, and that's one of the things that I like about the bosses in this game, is that they're all unique. They all have their own sense of personality, and you're kind of seeing how big the first island is of the game. There's 3 islands in the game, and this is the first one that you start out on. And so you're seeing some of the different things, some of the different areas I've gone to, some of the different bosses I've beaten already. And where we're going to go next is we're going to go next to a boss I have yet to beat, at least at the time of this recording, of this point in the video. And it's this flower boss that you'll see, it gets pretty difficult. So, with Cuphead, one of the things, like I said, that I enjoy is just the difficulty of it, the challenge. Now, I will admit it is rage-inducing at times, but that's what's cool about the game, is that it gives you a set of tools and says, okay, here's what you have, get good with them, as we hear when we play Dark Souls. And I don't want to call this game a 2D Dark Souls, because I don't think that's very fitting. That's why I said Mega Man. I think Mega Man is a better fit. But something you're going to see here pretty soon is how difficult this boss can be. But again, it's all about learning the game. It's all about learning the enemies that you fight. If you learn your enemy, you'll be able to overcome it. And as a good biblical parallel, when you learn the schemes of the devil and you pray against that, and you pray in the Holy Spirit, and you're reading the Bible, then you'll be able to overcome those temptations. You'll be able to overcome those challenges. It's one of the reasons why I like difficult games, because it just is a constant reminder of that. Now, something you're going to see in the corner here, I'm going to go ahead and keep talking, even though I think this might be getting close to where I'm going to just go on a string of deaths. You see these playing cards in the bottom corner that are building up. That's your combo meter, so to speak. As that produces a full card, you can use a special move that, depending on what weapon you're using, changes. And so you can use that to just get rid of a string of enemies or do a huge amount of damage to something. Or in this instance, it just doesn't help at all. Like I said, this game is difficult. You're going to die a lot in the game. And some of the stuff is just you jumping into it by accident. But this is where the magic happens. It's in these moments here that you knock down a boss and win. And it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. But that's basically what Cuphead is. You go through a couple different, or you go to different areas, you go to different missions, you fight a lot of bosses, learn their combos, learn their moves, and overcome those challenges, and then get graded for it, which is always good. Which is always good. I actually hate being graded in video games. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. That's why I don't play a lot of games that grade you on your performance, because it's like, just let me play the game. Let me play the game. So after you beat a boss, you'll get this contract, and then kind of go from there. But that's kind of Cuphead in a nutshell here. Like I said, there's 3 different islands. I'm still on the first one, and hopefully I'll be able to finish this game. I'm hoping that the bosses don't get any harder than that, but I'm sure they will. So that's Cuphead in a nutshell. If you are playing Cuphead on Xbox, PC, or the Nintendo Switch, let me know in the comments what you think of Cuphead. What are some things I might have missed in this video that you think other players should know about? Let us know in the comments below. But thank you guys for watching this video. As always, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and all that stuff. And then we'll see you in the next video. GG and amen.